Today I'm going to show you a demonstration of changing an old painting into a new one. I've had this painting around for quite some time and I really didn't know what to do with it. And I'm sure you probably would have a few of those yourself where you get completely stuck and you think, I don't know what to do next. You don't want to spoil it, but you know you need to do something with it. So if this applies to you, then you will enjoy this video. I'm Joy Fay. I'm an artist and teacher. I've been teaching for many years, helping students develop their creativity and their skills and confidence in their painting. And it's my passion to help you develop your skills so you can really enjoy painting and get the most from it. So without further ado, let's dive in and see what's going to happen to this painting. So I'm just starting here by just doing a bit of drawing over it. You know, it's just kind of free and easy, just to kind of have a mark out where I feel that it would like to go next. And then I'm just adding paint. And I'm very kind of conscious of keeping the contrast and really giving the painting a boost, which it needed, I think. And I think you do have to have courage when you're doing something like this. You know, you have to take the risk. I mean, after all, it's only a painting. I mean, it's not life and death. So it's kind of fun to do, to push the boundaries and see what will happen. And go with your gut feeling, go with your intuition. Now, I'm putting the paint on quite thick here. And, you know, I've got a lot of the soft, smooth areas, and then I want the very opaque, stronger areas. And then, you know, once I've done this, you can then blend it in. I'm only just using a kitchen roll here. And it's amazing, you know, the different effects that you can get from doing it in this way. You can really build up the layers, bearing in mind this painting has already got 2 or 3 layers on it. So I'm kind of going over the top of all that too. And, you know, once you get back in the zone, it tells you, which is interesting. So I'm using, you know, different brushes. This is a small, flat 1-inch brush, which I'm using on its side, and can create some really nice soft effects. You know, I'm doing quite a lot of blending as I go, and I feel that you know, you can do that obviously with a brush, with a sponge, as you saw me do it before, with some paper towel. You know, different effects that you can get with the blending, and I love that, particularly when you've got this, you know, the colours underneath, because it gives a painting so much depth and interest. And you can see back to the paper towel, and you know, I like to feel that in a painting there's a combination of different textures which helps with the composition. You know, you want some soft areas and soft transitions between colours, and then you also need you know, some harder edges, so you've got a nice contrast. Now I'm using the orange here again to start balancing, and this is another point about when you're, you know, tackling your painting, to have a look at the balance and then the different colour values that you're using of the same colour. And again, that you know, you can do that by using, you know, adding some white or adding some black, so you've got the same colour but you're using it in different ways. I'm really going to town now with the pinks. I love this pink in this painting, and as you'll see, I'm going to enhance it a little bit later with some deeper orange. But I love the orange and pink together because it's you know, very what do you call it? It's kind of very warm and interesting. I like that. Again, blending, but conscious of having some of the sharper edges and contrasts, as well as the blended edges, so one colour blends into another. And obviously you can do that in different ways. I'm doing it with the kitchen roll. And, you know, I mentioned before, it's interesting to, when you get back in a painting, to get into the feel of it. So you're not thinking about it too much, you're just kind of going with the feeling of how it's coming together. And you have to be inspired to get into that. And that drawing to begin with on top of the painting really, really helps that. So I want some really good contrast here between the darks and the lights. And you can see that I've put, you know, quite a bit of black in, but I've mixed the black with a little bit of the purples and the blues, so it's not too harsh. And again, I've gone to a smaller brush here for blending. And I think that's another interesting thing, is to have enough tools around you and enough different sized brushes so you can mix it up and change it around. You know, you don't want to get stuck on just using one brush or one different tool. Have a lot of different ones at hand, so if that mood takes you, you can spring into action and you've got it at hand. So again, you know, blending that colour in, keeping some of the strong colours strong, and then blending some of the other colours in. Coming in here with some white, again with that 1-inch brush, and it's kind of, you know, slowly but surely coming together with looking at the layers underneath and what I'm doing on the top. So I'm really emphasizing the contrast, putting the light against the dark, and that sort of adds to you know, your focal points, because, you know, at this stage now I want to be looking at composition, where the eye is going, and, you know, what is drawing you in, and hopefully, you know, keeping you going around the painting rather than out of it. And you know, it's beginning now, I feel, to take shape, and it's certainly very different to how it started. And I felt that, you know, that when I began it, it was sort of, it needed so much more. So I feel as if it's really growing in that direction now. And I've got some nice textures going on and some nice contrast. I'm loving the colour. So it's progressing slowly. And I think this is what you want to be having a look at your own painting. So check your focal points and your contrast to see how balanced they are. I've got some acrylic pens here, a white one, and I've got an orange one here, and I've also got some very nice crayons, which I might just use for some edges. And these finishing touches can just make all the difference. This is an acrylic Liquitex pen, which is really great. I love it. And I'm just shaking it to get it going. And I kind of like to just do some interesting things over the top, just to give it an extra little boost. So that's my white pen. With the orange pen, I'm just going to define a few lines. So for example here, you know, when we talk about having some very soft lines, you know, soft blended areas, we want some sharp lines. So we want those contrasts again, another kind of straight line here. And it just kind of brings the painting again their centres of interest. Let's put one in here. and maybe up here. So when you're doing this kind of thing, it just gives again a few extra contrast points and focal points and points of interest. Let's put one in down here. And I like doing this with the pen because it sharpens it up and it just gives you an extra little something. So just doing a few here. And I think I'm going to do something with my white crayon here, just in a few areas, just to break some of it up. It's different to the pen, it's just a little bit softer. It stops it just being, I could do something over here, just like scraping it in a little really. Just a few little highlights. Kind of interesting. You might not notice them so much on camera, but you know, when you have a look at a close-up, they're again just adding a little bit of interest here. Okay, so in critiquing, you know, looking at our design, our values and our composition. To me now the composition is working very much better, it's much stronger, you really know what you're looking at and your eyes staying within the painting, and actually some of the white lines also take you round, as well as the dark areas. You've got some really interesting value differences and contrast. Your lights and your darks, you've got some very kind of nice textures going on and then some very smooth texture. So there's a little bit of everything going on in here, which is what we wanted. So I hope you've enjoyed watching this demonstration, and it's given you some ideas to have courage to jump in and go over some of your old paintings that you were wondering what to do with. You know, check out your composition, how your colour values are working, your colour contrast, where your focal points are, and you won't go wrong. But if you've got any questions, you like to make a comment, put them below. You know, that's great. I love answering your questions. And if you enjoyed this video, well, you know what to do. Give me the thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. And if you want to learn more about abstract painting, I have a great free mini course, as well as many other different courses, but I'll put the link in the description below and you can go and check it out and have some fun with that. I look forward to seeing you again soon, and enjoy your painting. Take care. Bye for now.